Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the mighty Sam Alvey in action against Michal Oleksiejczuk. My pronunciation is...
I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
Very not the greatest pronunciation, but well, you're an absolute legend of the game in action again. How do you approach this one after all these years of fighting? Does this feel like the last UFC fight for you?
You know, it does. I hope not. I hope I can do enough to earn a new contract. But I've had 25. This is my 25th fight in the UFC. Most fighters don't make it to 5. I have had a blessed career. I've had some amazing wars in there. And if this is my last fight, I want to go out in style. I want to go out with a fight that everybody remembers and an extra $50,000.
I see your content. You're fantastic on camera. It's really fun. Are you kind of embracing each part of fight week this time? Like, whether it's just like the Venom gear, the meals, the media, everything.
Oh yeah, no man. See, I've got a job. I've got a job that most people don't know anything about. That most people can't get the back room view. So everything I can do, I try very hard to give them that back room, to let them know everything.
What kind of a matchup do you see Michal being in terms of your skill set? How do you see yourself beating him?
I'm gonna knock him out. I mean, it's if you watched him fight, it's obviously we both hit. We both are strikers. He's not gonna wrestle me, and I might wrestle him. We'll see, but very likely it's gonna be a boxing battle between the two of us. He's got a much higher paced style than I do. So it's a matter of I can dictate where the fight takes place and how fast that fight is taking place. That's kind of my key to victory.
Was there pressure on you throughout this period, or you just like, you seem like somebody who's super positive? Were you feeling that?
No. Maybe I should have been. I know what I'm good at. I know what I have to do, and I always know my opponent's going to get changed last minute. So it's no worry about getting any pressure or anything. I'm along for the ride, doing everything I can to make it to make the fight week as entertaining as I can make it.
I saw back on your record, I mean, you've been doing this for a while. One of your fights was stopped due to rainfall. You know, that like brings back some memories. What's the craziest experience you've had in this game, would you say?
So that one's way up there. But I fought in Russia. I was still an amateur, fought in Russia. And it was in like a circus building. The ring girls were all the high crotch dressed, flary with the feathers on the head and all that, doing the high kicks and stuff. And as I was warming up for that fight backstage, it was a circus building. There were lions and tigers and bears and everything behind cages. Like, I don't know, I could have went and poked one if I wanted to. And so that was pretty cool. Fight, warming up backstage from a gorilla.
Wow. What's next for you, do you think?
Hey, you know what? If the UFC and I decide not to continue our relationship together, I want so desperately to be in the WWE. That is what got me into fighting to begin with. I love that sport. I love the every part of that. That would be a dream. But I like fighting so much. I don't want to stop. I'm sure I will land on my feet. And I don't bare knuckle boxing or Eagle FC or Bellator. I could go back to Bellator or that PF. I love tournaments. The PFL tournament might be perfect for me.
I'm based out in Asia. What about some of the Asian promotions? Is that on your radar? Are you a Pride guy at all? Like, is Asia on your radar?
I like one championship. I've always liked it. The weight cutting protocol I have would be tough for me because I'm a big dude and I don't want to fight guys that are bigger than me, or that I would have to think about what I'm willing to live my life as.
We feel like it's, the UFC potentially over the next few weeks might be losing kind of a lot of icons from a golden age of MMA. Nate Diaz is on his last fight. Potentially we're losing you. How long's Tony Ferguson going to stick around for as well? Mm-hmm. Who do you think the coolest guy in the UFC is that you've met in your time here?
The coolest guy, Matt Serra is way up on that list. I believe he was. I'm trying to think if I ever fought on the same card as him. I don't believe I have, but I've met him more than once. And he's a dude that, like, when he walks into a room, you just want to be his friend. You want to be part of whatever he's talking about. So Matt Serra is way high on that list.
Awesome. And I'm wondering, with regards to the WWE, have you spoken to them? Do you have the connections there? Do you think that could be realistic in the near future?
I have not spoken to anyone about it yet because honestly, my full and entire intention is to stay in the UFC. I want to win so dominantly and impressively that the UFC wants to not only give me a new contract, give me a massive raise too. So we'll see what happens, but that is the goal.
Who do you think is the best wrestler? Who's your guy growing up?
So I love The Rock. Everyone kind of does, but Chris Jericho is way high on my list too. I forgot how much I like them. I'm watching on Peacock, the app, the Monday Night Wars, and just rewatching some of Jericho's. I love Jericho.
Which is your favorite fight? Which is your favorite UFC memory?
When I fought Nate Marquardt, he was my coach on The Ultimate Fighter, and I got to fight, and then I beat my coach, and that's just something nobody gets to do.
And in this recent run of fights for you, I mean, you got that draw with Da-Un Jung, you got a performance bonus. Is there any of the fights on this run at the moment that you thought definitely should have gone another way?
There are 4 of the last 8 that I won that the judges have screwed me on. And then there are 2 of the last 8 that I was rocked, but it was far from over. Mark Goddard got me twice. So I've got little asterisks in my head. That doesn't do anything for the paper, because the paper says I lost. But if you rewatch most of those fights, I won those fights.
So what's the most important thing that you've learned in the last few years that you would say to young fighters coming in now?
Wrestle as much as you can against everyone. When you're in school, wrestle.
And for you, who is the most exciting person in the UFC right now? Who do you think is the gold standard?
Sean Strickland is. I love Sean Strickland because not only is he a fantastic fighter, you don't have any idea what he's going to say next, and you just kind of want to get microphones in front of him to see what he has to say.
Is anybody taking this belt off Izzy, or is he just going to be holding this belt for forevermore?
I think Pierre has a good shot at it. I mean, it's going to be a kickboxing fight. Izzy's not going to start wrestling now. And Pierre just one-shotted Sean Strickland. That was incredible. That made a believer out of me.
Well, it's fun talking MMA with you. Have you thought about getting behind the desk at all on the analysis?
I do, actually. I am a commentator. I work with the B2 Fighting Series. That they're one of the biggest under UFC. They're like LFA. I don't know if you know what LFA is over here. They're LFA level, except they have far more fights and a lot more talent goes to the UFC. And I'm one of their head commentators there as well.
Fantastic. I should know that. So that's on me. I apologize.
It's fairly new. It's fairly new. I did it like 5 times and then my camp started.
Okay. Well, mate, best of luck. Absolute pleasure. Top man. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much, my friend.